I've owned enough watches from this particular brand that when they reach out to me offering me another watch to feature and share with you guys, I almost don't need to look at it. I'm just going to say yes because, well, they make really good watches. Hello, you're watching James. My name's James, you're watching me, and I am talking about watches. And I say this about this brand because I've already owned 3 from them, and all 3 of them have been fantastic. In fact, my favorite part about this brand is not just the affordability or how well they are made, it is the details. They are doing things with these watches which only generally more higher end brands do, and that is a surprise to me. And it makes a big difference. And it surprises me how much these small details do make a difference. So when they reached out to me again and said, hey, we've got this quartz watch to share with you, would you like one? I said, yes, please, that'd be great. Even though I'm not a huge quartz watch person, I still wanted to see it. And I also know you guys like quartz, so it's nice to occasionally feature a quartz watch. But because they did send this one out to me, you would have seen that sponsored icon pop up. And of course, there are going to be some links to the website and their Aliexpress store in the description of this video. And if you do choose to buy this one, it's 95 Australian dollars, which, well, that's not a lot of money, and that's before the sale comes in. So this might be even cheaper than that. And this one is cheaper than that because it is quartz, and I'm interested to see whether or not my thoughts about this quartz watch are as positive as my thoughts about the mechanical watches that I've had before with this particular brand. So let's flip the camera and let me show you what I think about this particular one. So there's some similarities between this one and all the other Milifortic watches that I've had, but there's also some differences. Firstly, exactly the same cases I think all the Milifortic that I've owned have come with. Same sort of accessories. But the first of those differences is definitely that it is a quartz watch. It is, however, the Seiko VH64 Mecha Quartz, which gives that second hand a nice ticking sweep rather than the sort of big ticks that quartz watches normally have. So have you noticed what stands out about this watch, or what's rather interesting? Well, it's those subdials, because it looks like a chronograph, doesn't it? However, there's no pushers. So what's going on with this movement? What complication is this? Well, rather simply, it is the day of the week and the day of the month, which I actually quite like. Compared to a chronograph where I don't really actually use that feature very often, I do use day of the week and day of the month, so you get the visual aspect of it. You also get the usability of those subdials, but then no chronograph feature. And that is why that second hand is ticking, because it's not a chronograph hand. A couple more things that are different about this watch than any other that I've had from this brand is firstly that there's some polishing on the case. You'll see that solid bezel is polished, but then the rest of it is brushed. I think all the other watches that I've had from them have either been all brushed or all polished, so it hasn't had those sort of different layers, which I actually quite like, having this sort of change back and forth. Gives the watch something a little bit different. Hey guys, sorry, this is one of those I jump in halfway through the video and ask you guys to subscribe to the channel. It does make a huge difference to me, and I hope that if you're not already a subscriber, I'd love for you to join the community that I have on this channel, and you can help support me by just clicking on that little button. But let's get back to the watch. So all those things are polished, but everything that is on the dial beyond those markers is printed on in white. And you'll see, obviously, there's a difference in the colors. There's a matte black, but then there's more like an off-white. And those off-white subdials have those sort of circular effects. So when you are in the sun and you are moving it around, it does help capture the light a little bit. And that second hand being all white makes it nice and easy to actually read. It's a little bit harder sometimes depending on the light to see the actual time, but you can definitely see that nice bright white second hand. But being a quartz watch, we expect it to be rather light, and it is. That says 55.2 grams. Also a nice set of dimensions at a case of 38 millimeters, a thickness of only 10.2 millimeters, compact lug to lug just under 46 millimeters, and a very standard 20 millimeter lug width. The crystal covering that dial is a very slightly double domed sapphire, and I can confirm, yes, it's a sapphire crystal. Now, I'm not going to say the lume is a standout feature of this one, but it's actually quite usable. It has that sort of slight delicate sort of look to it, but I can certainly easily read the time. Not much to say about that case back. It's screw on, but nothing else on there. And it comes with this leather strap, which is exactly the same as all the other leather straps that I've had from this brand. And that's a good thing because this is a nice, solid, all genuine leather, has a nice leather smell to it, really nice feel to it, and very nice, very good hardware that is branded with the Milifortic name there. And I think it's the combination between the really nice strap, that leather strap, the size of this watch, especially how thin it is, but also just how light it is, makes for a really interesting on-wrist experience. I think a lot of people really would enjoy this. For me, it feels very light, which is a bit odd for me because I'm not used to that, but I can certainly understand the attraction to it. So is this the watch that has now made me love quartz watches? Have I broken away from only loving mechanical watches? Well, no. I just like mechanical watches. I understand that, but it is nice to have a nice quality, but yet still very affordable quartz watch in my collection for a short time. It won't be sticking around, but it's been nice to be able to have it, and it's been nice to be able to share my experiences with you guys. I'd also love it if you could possibly watch one of these videos next.